Bro.
Jim Jones was pacing his small apartment, his heart racing with an unfamiliar intensity. It had started out as a typical Wednesday, but the air felt electric and charged with an unwavering sense of unease. His girlfriend, Chrissy, consumed his thoughts. They had shared passionate moments that left him breathless, but lately, the distance between them made his skin crawl. Meanwhile, Chrissy was at her friend's house, enjoying the warmth of laughter and carefree conversation. The afternoon light danced through the window, making her feel alive and free from the weight of her past. However, she couldn't help but notice that Common, the man she once loved so deeply, held a pole, but she was unable to fully remove it even with her greatest attempts. He was shaken off as the sun set, bathing the sky in flaming hues. A friend's message sent a shiver down Jim's spine as his phone buzzed menacingly. Just a heads up, Common is back in town. A rush of heat washed over his face, and he dismissed the message, feeling futile uncertainty seeping into his heart like poison, fed by a sudden urgency to face the truth. Anger and dread swirled together. When Jim stepped into his car, his mind raced to how Chrissy would react when he surprised her and how her eyes would light up. However, as he drove, his joy turned into fear when he noticed a familiar automobile parked. Though, he took a deep breath, swung the door open, and saw what felt like a punch to the gut. His heart fell out of his chest as he saw Common's car there, his fists clenched and the laughter inside sounding like a mocking echo. Jim's voice thundered, "What the hell is going on here?" as Chrissy and Common were stretched out on the couch, laughing uncontrollably and projecting intimacy through their body language. Low-key and harmful Chrissy squirmed to sit up, her head whipping around her face, robbing it of color. "Jim, you vowed that you were done with Jim, and I don't even know where to begin." Jim shouted, every syllable loaded with betrayal. Common got to his feet, hands raised defensively, his visage displaying a mixture of surprise and irritation. "Jim Man says that there's more to this than meets the eye. Put away your words. I don't want to hear your pitiful justifications," Jim said as he stepped closer, the air sparking with tension. The space turned cold. There was almost a tangible, charged mood. Fear and regret flickered in Chrissy's eyes. Angry in her eyes, "Jim, if you could just let me explain," what he yelled. "Growing with every word you said to me, I can see that I wasn't sneaking about, as you've been lying to me behind my back." Chrissy sobbed, her voice quivering. "I had assumed we could simply converse," but Jim sneered, his incredulity evident. "You know this is talking." Tangled up with him like you never left, and as he turned to storm out, he felt a piece of himself break. The laughter that had filled the room felt like a cruel betrayal, a punchline to a joke he hadn't wanted to be a part of. The door slammed behind him, evoking the finality of their broken trust. Outside, the cool night air hit him like a rush of adrenaline, leaving him breathless as the chaos of emotions crashed over him. Did they even have a chance? Could he ever trust Chrissy again? Betrayal swelled in his chest, as did a strong desire for answers. As the night drove off, Jim recognized that this was only the beginning and that there were a lot of dark and illuminating possibilities ahead. It lingered. Could a love based on passion ever survive such a devastating fracture? The answer felt as elusive as the night itself, and the journey ahead promised to be anything but easy. As he navigated through the city streets, he had to confront the raw, searing truth about love betrayal and the dangerous allure of the past. The modern restaurant was buzzing with laughter and clinking glasses as the sun sank low over New York City, giving the busy streets below a golden tint. However, at one table, things were about to take a dramatic turn. Resembling a combination of resolve and annoyance, Chrissy Lampin sat across from Jim Jones. Were no longer the same after going through their fair share of ups and downs. A pall over their talk suggested that the tension between Chrissy and Jim's mother had reached a breaking point. "Jim, we must talk about your mother." With a calm yet emotionally charged voice, Chrissy spoke, "She disrespects me at every turn, so I can't keep acting like everything is okay. It's my mother, so you have to understand where she's coming from," Jim said, sighing and massaging the back of his neck. "You cannot continue to make excuses for your mother because it's not only about how she treats me," Chrissy said, her eyes flashing. A text message from Jim's phone buzzed on the table, sending the air crackling with unresolved feelings. Jim's face hardened as his mom unleashed a torrent of insults. "It's unbelievable that she's messaging me right now and complaining that you're causing trouble in our family. All I want to do is be a part of your life, but your mother won't let me." As Chrissy's voice rose, a nearby table turned to listen. Before Chrissy answered, a figure appeared at the side of their table. Jim's irritation swelled since it seemed like you were always at her throat. Perhaps if you just attempted to understand her. "I'm sick of your disrespect," Jim's mother said, her eyes burning with anger. "Christine, the tension broke like a TT string. You think you can just come in here and take my son away from me?" Chrissy fired back. When things got out of hand, Jim got up to attempt to calm the situation down. But Chrissy's words lingered in the air like a challenge. "You're going to let her talk to me like that? I'm not trying to take him away, but you need to respect me." The weight of his mother's devotion tugged at Jim, causing his face to twist in conflict. Chrissy, however, was done. She sprang up from her seat, her rage radiating like heat from a fire. "This is why we can't work together, because you let her control everything when everything was in disarray." At his hottest moment, Jim's hand smacked her cheek, shocking the entire room as he tried to block Chris' progress out of rage. "Restaurant in quietness across them," gasps broke. Jim recognized what he had just done, and his eyes widened in shock, his heart beating. "Is this you?" Chrissy spoke, tears welling up as she stood there, her face flashing between frozen pain and fierce determination. "You chose her over me," she murmured. When Jim realized how much his actions had cost him, his heart fell. With that, Chrissy turned on her heel and left Jim standing there. She cut him off, saying in a calm voice, "Jim, you need to figure out what you want, because I won't be part of a love triangle with your mother." His surroundings were silenced in the restaurant, and the truth of loyalty, treachery, and the recent events that had occurred all mixed together to make Dan very angry. When Chrissy got down on one knee, Jim knew that everything was about to change. His heart raced, realizing that this was a pivotal moment. Would he stand up for Chrissy, or would he allow the currents of family loyalty to drown out their love? Fresh York backstage at the 2019 Deuce-a-Palooza at Barclays Center, New York City, December 13, 2019. Photo by Johnny Noonswire Image. At some point, it has to stop. Chrissy Lampin L. and Jim Jones, despite their 18-year relationship at the time, Chrissy Lampin tells Jim Jones by 2021, seemed to be over the idea of marriage on VH1's third season in a family reunion love and hip-hop edition. She unexpectedly said no, adding, "You want me to be this loving crazy cook this, that, and the other, but you come home and you're mean and you're cold and you're distant." The couple engaged in a heated back and forth, during which Jones admitted his wrongdoings out of fear of being married. "I've always been a man in my family, so all I know how to do is try to support and try to make money. I don't want you to think I'm selfish in any way because I love you more than I could love anything in this world," Chrissy claimed. In a recent episode of Love and Hip Hop New York, things must come to an end eventually. During the most recent episode, Chrissy Lampin went into further detail about the reasons behind her and Jim's extended engagement. She talked about her return to the show after almost 7 years, noting that the producers had initially contacted her with the intention of getting her back because they wanted to get back to the core of the program. Looking back on her relationship, Chrissy said, "Our relationship is in a favorable place. I thought marriage was the natural progression, but it's not for everyone. We're good right now." The couple has encountered several obstacles in their relationship, which Chrissy openly talked about in 2016. She gave an explanation for her choice to continue being engaged to her then-fiancé, saying that she didn't see the purpose in getting married until either of them was completely ready. "People move at different speeds, and that's why I'm here. Since I've made this decision, I don't want to go through a divorce." A memorable episode showed Chrissy moving to Miami from New York to live with JYM, which many fans consider to be a turning point in their relationship. Their relationship has been a significant part of love and friendship. The upcoming season 10 is scheduled to premiere on VH1 on December 16th. Their connection, fearing she could leave him despite this grand gesture, Jim decided not to marry Chrissy, leading fans to speculate about their relationship's future and what exactly makes them a couple. Jim risked all and asked Chrissy to marry him in Miami, intending to make up for what many saw as his prior lack of commitment. The real test of their love could be found in their dedication to one another, which they have shown to be true regardless of whether it complies with social norms. In an environment where expectations abound, they continue to overcome obstacles and learn how to put their own and their group's happiness first. As time goes on, the public is enthralled with their story and eagerly awaits updates and insights into their relationship. Their journey highlights universal themes of love, commitment, and personal growth that many can relate to. As Christian Jim continues to chart their course, they serve as a reminder that relationships are not just about reaching a destination, but also about the experiences and transformations that occur along the way. As they both embrace this new chapter, we hope for a future filled with clarity, understanding, and happiness, whatever form it takes. It is important to remember what makes people content and fulfilled, whether they decide to walk down the aisle or stay where they are. After years of dating and shared experiences, some couples never make it to the altar, and that's perfectly acceptable. What really matters is finding peace and fulfillment, whether you find it together or apart. As Chrissy and Jim navigate this new chapter, the world watches, hoping for clarity and understanding. The love journey is rarely linear. For those following their journey, sometimes the most important aspect is simply being true to oneself while navigating the complexities of partnership. Happiness for both of them regardless of the final course they decide to take as the days go by. The dynamics of their relationship are constantly changing, showing the highs and lows that come with love. Every interaction and public appearance adds a new dimension to the story they are writing together, but there is also tension with AMA. Jones is a continual reminder of the importance of family in interpersonal interactions and the challenges involved in managing them. At times, the depths of water can be debilitating. Jim and Chrissy have both grown personally over the years, taking lessons from their setbacks and victories. Not just about love, but also about respect, understanding, and communication. As they reflect on their time together, they may also be thinking about what they really want for their future as a couple and as individuals. Conversations about marriage frequently reflect broader societal expectations, and it's evident that Chrissy and Jim are navigating these expectations in their own special ways. Tension-filled environments can be created by family, fans, and the industry, making it challenging to decide what is truly best for them. Constantly in line with individual desire or readiness,